Imagine this. You're 45, waking up in a rented apartment and your bank balance is zero. Your future wasn't killed today. You personally executed it 20 years ago. Stick around until the end, and I'll show you the math of your mistakes that cost you millions. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you're ready for the brutal truth. You're in your 40s, and you feel more than just tired. You feel a heavy weight. It's not physical pain. It's the pressure of debts for things that rotted in a landfill long ago. You work a job you hate just to give the bank your last cent for a mortgage that still has 15 years left. You look at successful people on Instagram and ask, where did I go wrong? The painful answer is, you took a loan from your future self. Today, I'm giving you a tour of your financial hell. Grab a calculator. We're starting with your first fatal mistake. At 20, there's a virus in your brain. It whispers, relax, you have an eternity ahead of you. Why save now? Once you hit 30, you'll earn more and save in 1 year what would take 5 years now. But that's a trap that slams shut far too late. Let's calculate the price of your waiting. Our goal is to retire at 50 with a $500,000 nest egg. This gives you freedom and passive income. If you start at 20 and invest just $200 a month at an average 10% annual return, you'll reach that goal easily. But if you only wake up at 40, hold on to your chair. To catch up with that student and get the same $500,000 by age 50, you'll have to save nearly $3,000 every single month. Do you see the tragedy? Math doesn't care about your excuses. The second mistake is the status trap. At 20, it's all about looking cool. You buy liabilities that demand maintenance money you don't have. Classic move, your first car on credit. A guy gets a used BMW or a new Ford and spends half his paycheck on it. The car loses value every second while the loan interest grows. In 5 years, that ride will be worth pennies, but you'll have paid the bank twice its value. It's a double robbery. You try to look rich while diligently making yourself a pauper. It's the same with gadgets. Buying the latest iPhone on credit with a $2,500 salary is financial insanity. You're buying a toy that will be obsolete in a year, overpaying the bank by 30%. Truly wealthy 20-year-olds take the bus because every dollar goes into compound interest. The third mistake is education for the sake of a piece of paper. They told us, study hard, get a stable job. So you spend 5 years on a law degree you don't even need. You leave college at 23 with a diploma, but no real skills, stuck in an office for peanuts. It's called the middle income trap. You have enough for rent and a burger, so you settle down. You stop learning. But in 2026, the world has changed. AI and automation are already breathing down your neck. Your stable office job is first in line to be cut. The mistake is that at 20, you don't take risks. You're afraid to start a business or go freelance. You choose safety. But safety at 20 means poverty at 40. While you're shuffling papers, a peer who failed at 3 startups is gaining real-world experience. At 40, you'll be fired because a 20-year-old kid will do your job faster and cheaper using ChatGPT. You'll find yourself a dinosaur in the job market that nobody wants. Your diploma will become a glorified coffee coaster. Invest in real skills, not paper. The fourth mistake is the most intimate. Relationships without a calculator. At 20, hormones take over love, butterflies. You move in together, have a wedding on credit like everyone else. You don't discuss money because it's unromantic. But love in a cottage costs real money. Error number 1. Choosing a partner with a different financial DNA. You try to save while they spend. You want to invest. They want a vacation in Vegas. At 20, this seems minor, but at 40, it leads to a divorce that will wipe out your capital. Property division, alimony, separate rent. The statistics are ruthless. Men lose up to 50% of their assets after a divorce. Error number 2. Children without a financial cushion. A child is the most expensive project of your life. If you have one at 22 with zero savings, you're ending your career. For the next 10 years, you're stuck in a poverty trap. All money goes to diapers and doctors. I'm not calling for child-free living. I'm calling for responsibility. Put the financial oxygen mask on yourself first, then the child. Discuss money before marriage. That is, adult life. The fifth mistake is neglecting your body. At 20, your health is a free gift. You can sleep 4 hours and still work. But you exploit this resource ruthlessly. Fast food, energy drinks, no exercise. You think, I'll save on the dentist to buy a new gadget. At 40, the bill will arrive, and it will be massive. Fixing a cavity at 20 is 100. Getting an implant at 40 is 3,000. Everything you saved on quality food in your youth, you will give back to pharmacies with interest. A sick person cannot be wealthy. A sick person has no energy to earn. Their thoughts are occupied not by growth strategy, but by where it hurts. Your body is your primary asset. Without it, your millions are just numbers in an app that your heirs will enjoy. Sixth mistake: living on a loan from yourself. The sixth mistake is living to your credit limit. In the US, a credit card isn't money. It's a tool that most use as a noose. You buy $200 sneakers, but with interest, they cost you $300. You buy today's pleasure at the cost of tomorrow's peace of mind. You think, it's just $15 a month for a subscription. But add Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, a gym you don't visit, and cloud storage. Total, $200 a month. In 20 years, those small things invested in the market would be $150,000. You're literally eating your Miami beach house. The seventh mistake is not understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. Your home isn't an investment if it drains money for taxes and repairs. You become a slave to a location. A true capital hacker buys income producers first and spenders later. The eighth mistake is a toxic environment. If your friends call you every Friday to blow a week's salary at a bar, they are your enemies. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. This is called the crab mentality. When one tries to climb out of the poverty bucket, others pull him back. Why invest? Let's buy new rims. Your friends don't want you to get rich because it makes them look like losers by comparison. The ninth mistake is lifestyle inflation. As soon as your salary goes from 4 to 6, you move to a pricier apartment and get a Tesla. Your net profit remains 0. You're running in a wheel that spins faster and faster. The rich stay rich by living modestly until their capital works. The American middle class are the poorest people in the world because they owe everyone. The bank for the house, the dealer for the car, the state for taxes. They have everything but own nothing. One missed paycheck and they're on the street. Don't be middle class. Be a hidden capitalist. The 10th mistake is the lack of a safety net. Most Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without a credit card. That's living on a powder keg. Any crisis, illness, or layoff turns your life into a catastrophe in 1 week. You're afraid of looking poor today, so you stay poor forever. Your desire to impress people you don't even like with money you don't have is a consumer mental disorder. True freedom begins when you stop caring what your neighbor thinks of your old phone. Let's do a midpoint summary. If you stop making these 10 mistakes today, you're already wealthier than 90% of the population. But that's not enough. In the next part, we'll break down exactly how to hack the system and make every dollar work for you, not Uncle Sam. The first step to freedom is admitting you're in a hole. Stop digging. Your first tool isn't investing. It's an audit. Write down every dollar leaving your wallet. When you see how much unnecessary subscriptions and emotional buys eat up, you'll be horrified. That's your first capital fuel. The hacker's golden rule: pay yourself first. Not the bank, not the landlord, not Starbucks. As soon as you get your check, at least 10% goes to a separate account you can't touch. This is your untouchable reserve. If you can't live on 90% of your income, you won't survive on 100%. Step 2. Aggressively killing small debts. Use the snowball method. Pay off the smallest debt first for a psychological win, then throw that freed up cash at the next one. Credit card interest is legal robbery. Stop being food for bank sharks. While your capital is small, The best investment is your brain. Don't buy success courses. Buy skills the market pays hard cash for. Coding, data analysis, sales, AI tools. Every new skill is an additional income stream that can't be confiscated. Think of your savings as building a dam. At first, it's just rocks in the water, but over time, they'll hold back the flood of circumstances. When you have 6 months of living expenses, your fear of your boss vanishes. You become a free player because you have ground to stand on. Once debts are paid and the cushion is built, it's time for magic. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Let your money give birth to more money. Even $500 a month in an index fund will make you a millionaire. Remember, the system doesn't want you to succeed. The system needs obedient taxpayers who work until 65 and die 2 years after retiring. If you don't start building your future today, you're just funding someone else's celebration of life. You can turn off this video and go back to scrolling. Your brain will say, "That was interesting. I'll start Monday." But Monday never comes. You'll just wake up 10 years later and realize the chances are gone. Anger is good. Use it to change your life. I don't promise you overnight success. I promise the path will be hard but honest. No get rich quick, scams or empty promises. Only numbers, logic, and cold discipline. This is the way of the financial hacker. You either break the system's code or stay part of it. Subscribe. Leave a comment on what you'll change today. Your time starts now.